How's it going, you guys? I feel like in today's world, a lot of the youth that are entering the workforce, I feel like they're doing the bare minimum at their jobs, and they also are trying to pursue a minimalist approach on their lifestyle. In China, for example, there's this movement called Lie Flat, and the youth are starting to question the point of everything. Like, what's the point in getting a nice apartment in a first-tier city when I can just live with my parents or roommates? What's the point in doing the extra effort at my job when I'm still going to get paid the same amount of money? What's the point in having children if I just want to enjoy my own life? And in the US, there's something similar, and it's called quiet quitting. So they do the bare minimum at their job also, and they're also questioning even having a family or having a mortgage. You know, they look at their friends that just graduated college and they're probably tens of thousands of dollars in student loan debt. And if they started off with a high salary, high paying job, they probably financed a nice car like a BMW or Mercedes. So they're just in all this debt. So they're forcing themselves to stay at their job, a job that they necessarily don't like, a job that they kind of were forced into because their parents pressured them to go to college, and they had such a short amount of time to figure out, like, oh, what do I want to do, and they just chose a major. You know, there's plenty of cases of that happening all throughout the world, not just in the US or China. When people do the bare minimum at their job, they have this extra energy throughout their day, but it's important for them to use that extra energy to do good, productive habits that will benefit their financial or physical well-being. And the people are also using this minimalist approach to cut back on expenses as much as they can and use that money for experiences instead of material things. Let's use this example. Let's say a house in San Francisco, it's been passed down generation by generation. The person who inherited the house is an only child, and they don't plan on having a family at all. They see all these boxes and boxes of family photo albums. They have all this fine china, all these cooking tools, utensils, bowls, plates, all these extra rooms in their house. And they ask themselves, why do I need all this stuff? Why do I need all this space? I just want to enjoy my life. And what they decide to do is they decide to turn all their family photos into the digital cloud. They sell most of their fine china and donate a lot of their bowls, utensils, and cooking tools because they only need two of everything anyway. I only need 2 forks, 2 spoons, 2 knives, 2 bowls, 2 plates. That's enough for me. And then they look at the extra space in their house and they're just saying to themselves, do I even need a house? I don't want a family, so I'm just going to sell this house. So what they decide to do is they decide to sell the house and buy a condo or townhouse that's closer to their work. So they have this extra money. Okay, I have this extra money because I sold my house. I bought a smaller property. Hey, I'm just going to invest it. All right, boom. So they decide to just invest it into their future so they don't have to work as much when they get to their 40s, 50s, 60s. Oh, all right. What else can I do? Well, I can cut back on expenses when it comes to groceries. So they see what their diet is and they're just like, let me simplify my diet. So they have a diet mainly of eggs, protein shakes, chicken breasts, veggies, fruit, and occasionally they have beef. And they're just like, wow, my expenses are pretty minimal. I have a reliable car that's been paid off. I have a nice little property paid off. This is all I need. I'm pretty happy with my life. But I know I can enjoy it time to time. They look at the months of the year where people don't travel as much because, I got kids going to school, my wife has work, they have all these excuses. So they're like, okay, the cheapest times to travel to Asia, Europe, Latin America are these months of the year. I'm going to take my vacation from work those months of the year. And they decide to travel then. And they save more money on traveling, having experiences that have been on their bucket list since their childhood. And they were able to do it a lot easier and quicker because they cut back on expenses on material things. When you cut back on expenses on the material things, it's easier to spend money on those experiences you've always been dreaming of. And these experiences for this person, they aren't buying a material thing, but it's to experience traveling. That's what most of their bucket list consists of. And this person enjoys their life free from obligations and as much debt as possible. Even though they're trying to have a life free from all these obligations, trying to have as much freedom as possible, it's still important for them to prioritize their health and their financial future. So let's say we have this life that seems easier than a lot of other people. We don't have all this stuff tying us down. It's still important for us to go to the gym to keep improving us physically, and it's still important to invest in our future to make sure that when we're like 40s, 50s, 60s, we don't have to work nearly as hard as we are in our 20s. So it's important to do the hard work now. And that's why I noticed, like, when it comes to investing in the stock market, I remember I started investing spring of 2020. That's when everything just started crashing down, and that's when I started investing. I had money saved up, so I started consistently investing. And I look at the course of 3 years, it's 2023 right now, and I'm just like, wow, it's starting to pay off. But it's important for me to keep investing in my 20s, because I know my 30, 40, 50-year-old self is like, hey, thanks 20, 21, 22, 23-year-old me. Thank you for investing early. This makes my life a lot easier. We don't have to make our life difficult. We don't have to work our butt off to just pay off debt. We can work our butt off now to have an easier financial future. Not just to pay off bills, but to have an easier financial future so we can have an enjoyable life. In my present state, I'm transitioning into a new job, and my expenses have gone very low. And I'm still enjoying my life, even though I can't enjoy as many things, such as traveling internationally, showing people new places. I still am enjoying my time alone and practicing presence. You know, when I'm with others, it's pretty hard for me to practice presence. When I'm at home and I'm tempted with snacking, chugging diet soda, it's hard to be present. But when I'm by myself, I only have water with me. It's just me and God, and it really helps me be present. And the online content that I follow, I'm very grateful that they told me that most of our problems can be solved if we're present. Having more control of our mind, more control of our life if we're just present. And when we're present, we're still taking actions to improve our physical and financial future, but we're still just enjoying the now. When I'm at the gym, I'm just enjoying challenging myself physically. When I'm investing my money into a certain stock, a certain crypto, I'm like, I know my future self will thank me for this. I'm glad I'm doing this right now. When I'm filming this YouTube video in this nice park, I think to myself, I'm glad I drove 30 minutes to a really nice neighborhood to film this video, because this is such a beautiful area and just forces me to do more stuff in the present moment, experiencing more of nature, filming more YouTube videos on stuff I'm passionate about. And when my expenses have to be lower, I realize, what if I have a minimalist lifestyle even when I make more money? There will be a point where I'll be able to do the higher levels of my purpose, but even when I make more money, I can still pursue a minimalist lifestyle. And when I do, I can still invest more into my future. The youth are doing two things. They are doing the bare minimum at their jobs, and they're pursuing a minimalist lifestyle. With the extra energy they have doing the bare minimum at their job, it's important for them to consistently do good, productive habits that will benefit their physical and financial future. And it's important for them to pursue a minimalist lifestyle to decrease their expenses wherever they can that does not detriment their health, so they can spend money on experiences instead of material things. A lot of the experiences they want are to travel to certain places throughout the world, and they can do that even with low expenses. With the patience, the discipline, they'll be able to achieve most of the things, if not all, on their bucket list. because they decided to pursue a minimalist lifestyle for the long term. And I hope this video helps you in any way. I love you guys. God bless you. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you. Cool.